Hey friends, how are we doing today? Svava Brooks here. If you're watching the replay, thank you for being here. I am abuse survivor coach and I love to hang out here on the internet, on Periscope and YouTube, supporting my readers as we work our way through my book, one page, one day at a time. My book here, 365-day workbook, right? For adult survivors of abuse and trauma. Hey friend, thanks for joining. Glad that you're here with us. Hey Rob, hey friend. And as abuse survivor coach, hey Wanda. I love to help remind my fellow survivors on this journey that we have everything that we need to heal and restore. Yes, along the way we may have disconnected from our bodies or disconnected from our authentic selves, but we are working our way back. I sometimes call it the journey to the heart, right? The longest journey. We know a lot about healing up here, but how to reconnect with that soft spot in our hearts, that's what we're gonna do, and it's better to do together. Hey friends, hey Chris Ann, hey Vicky. How are you guys? Good to see you. How are you guys doing today? How are we? How are we? How are we? This day went by like that. Hey Nora, hey friend. Well, so good to see you. I was thinking about you, just about to send you an email and check in on you. Hey gang, hey Sue. How are you, my friend? And just to let the people on Periscope know, thank you for being here. I'm in broadcast only mode over here, because I'm running the live chat over on YouTube because I cannot possibly navigate two streams of messages and chats. So if you want to join the conversation, please come on over to YouTube and search for my name or the name of the book and you will find our live stream. We would love to have you be a part of the conversation. So if you're honest, you're feeling weary and sad today, I hear you, friend. I hear you. Thank you for being honest. I am so glad that you're here with us, but I am sending you love, my friend. Sending you lots of love. Is it related to our topic or is something going on? How can we support you? This is the place to ask for support, right? In our closed Facebook group, we see a lot of love and support, right? But it's a blessing when we get to express our authentic selves. Like there's nothing more authentic than just right here, right now. This is how I'm feeling. So please, Sue, if you like, please let us know how we can support you. Thanks for popping in, Nora. Going into a meeting. Was thinking about you. See, I can feel you guys. Oh, my friend Sue, I'm so sorry. Oof. Oof, right? Your friend is suffering, going through some pain. I am so sorry. That is hard. Hey Missy, hey friend. That is so hard, right? It is the human condition, right? It hurts our hearts when our friends and loved ones are struggling or suffering, right? So I'm sorry, my friend Sue. Hey Rob, good to see you, friend. And Vicky, feeling beat up from the fun on the beach, but it was worth it. The fresh air worked wonders. Awesome. I'm jealous. Excuse me, guys. My nose is itchy. So you got to the beach. Awesome. Thank you, Rob. Thank you. These are one of my favorite earrings. You're so astute noticing those things. It was a gift from a friend, a very special friend in San Diego, and so I wear them a lot. Love them. Oh, yes, heart hurt is hard. Yes, 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 it is. So we are here with you, my friend Sue, right? And when people are feeling their heart hurt, we can't crawl in there, we can't fix it, we can't give advice. It isn't even our job, right? But just to be, right, present and staying connected to our hearts, just like we do together, my friends, right here when we come together on the live stream, or when we are talking or interacting in our group, right? Just coming together with the loving intention of supporting one another, it makes a difference. It makes the difference. Oh, they were. Don't listen to them, Rob. Don't listen to them. I won't mock you. I'll take all that flattery. Just keep coming. I know how to receive it. Exactly, Sue, right? I hear you, my friend. Hey, Karen. Hey, friend. Right, Sue? It's exactly. We can't fix it, but just be there. Be there for each other. Be there for others. Because what's the hardest part about, when we are in pain or when we're struggling is often the feeling that we're alone. Wanda, stop giving Rob a hard time. He's just being nice. Right? It's just, right? The human condition, when we hurt, it is hard on us and it's hard on others. And when we hurt, we don't want to bother or burden other people with our hurt often. So, and we live in a culture that really isn't very comfortable with other people's hurt, right? And as we know, survivors here on the healing journey, when we get to speak about our hurt, right? It's not fun or pretty sometimes, the things that we talk about, but it's important that we just get to voice our feelings and just to kind of get out our thoughts, to clear our heads, and just to have someone that can sit and listen and just understand. I can't fix it for you, I can't make it go away, but just the comfort of being in a safe place with somebody else, that I see you, I'm sorry that happened to you. Right? Thank you for the courage, for sharing it. The burden, the pain gets easier when we get to share it with others. And again, it's a tricky thing to navigate, right? People maybe want to hear what's going on with us, but maybe some don't want to hear, or it hurts them so much that they struggle with holding that space. So, hey Lori, hey friend. That's okay, Rob. I gotcha. Right, Vicky? So, Sue, I'm so glad that your friend has you, that she has your love and your support, right? And as you are understanding, and that's the beauty of all of us doing our work, right? Learning how to help ourselves, healing our hearts, right? Because how do I say this? That's our post-trauma growth, right? When we can relate and know how supportive it is just to have someone sit here with you, or on the other side of the phone, I'm just gonna sit here with you. Yes, just cry those tears, right? Just share those hard words. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not turning away from you, right? More and more, you guys, my friends, you have that experience. And as we develop resilience to hold our own grief, our own sadness, our own loneliness, or whatever the hurt is or the feeling, we also develop the capacity to hold it for others. So it's beautiful how, we are all on our journey strengthening our inner hearts, getting in touch with our love and compassion for ourselves, and in that it overflows. We can't help, because we see our suffering in other people, right? I remember when I hadn't found my voice, when I didn't know that I could safely feel and express those secrets. So beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So today we are talking about our inner child, those little boys and girls that live inside of us, right? The part of you that still holds some of the things in there, right? So part of the journey to our hearts is to learn to love that part, become the parent and the protector that you needed. And that's also the hope, my friend, and the good news is that when we start to turn towards ourselves, oh, I hear you, Vicky. I'm so sorry. I totally understand, right? In the beginning, we trust all the wrong people. And sometimes that, backfired. Because that was normal. Those people was normal to hang out with, those type of people who weren't necessarily trustworthy. But that was in your comfort zone. We talked about that a few days ago. So, and that's part of developing, connecting with that inner child. As we do that, we also develop our parent, our adult self, that, right, then starts to be able to discern. Because that little girl, like for me, my inner child, my little girl, there are certain family members that are better for me not to hang out with, but she desperately wants their love. She desperately wants to run back and try to fix that relationship. Oh, they'd be different this time. They'll be so nice to us. So I have to intervene, right? I have to intervene when this little girl's like, oh, there they are. They're going to be so great. I have to step in and say, hey, baby girl, I'm so sorry. I know you long for that fantasy, right? That relationship that you perhaps had as a little girl, but that does not work. That's not who is showing up in the outside world anymore. Very often, those adult people that are now in front of us are wounded souls, in a way just like us. But we get to decide and to set a boundary if it's good for us today to have relationships with those people. So we're going to turn to the book. I know some of you kicking and screaming. So I'm going to hold it up if you're watching the replay. This is one of my 2 books. It's available on Amazon or Kindle, and it's a workbook. And in our closed Facebook group, our courageous members here have posted their answers to the questions for the day. And I'm going to go ahead. You guys have given me permission here. I appreciate it when you put that you say it's okay to share here. So thank you guys. But here we go. You aren't connecting to your heart perhaps because there is still a part of you that doesn't believe that he or she is worth loving. Thank you, Rob, right? That was a piece that I kept coming back to for a long time, not being worthy of love. Why? I had no idea what that looked like. I had no idea what that felt like, right? What are those words? What is it to receive loving, kind words and softness? Thank you, Chris-Ann. So your inner child only experienced pain in the absence of love and has believed it because something was wrong with you ever since, right? That little girl, that little boy, it must have been me. It must have been something wrong with me. So when you don't believe you're worthy of love, we cannot live and act from our hearts, and you cannot give love to others properly. Well, let me just qualify, all right? This is not a either or. There's obviously a huge gray area, meaning properly. Hey, Sharon. Hey, friend. Meaning that often we give love to others more than we give to ourselves, and we give love with an agenda, not maybe even conscious of it. I'm going to love you in the hopes that you will accept me, right? And often we want other people to love us and other people to love our wounded little child, our inner child, because we don't know how to. It may be even a little scary idea just to handle or to love that little girl. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. So we have to start at the source. We have to take the time to learn to love ourselves, every wounded part. And again, that's the good news, right? We can. And we should be delighting in self-care, taking care of this beautiful body, right? Your beautiful body that has worked so hard for you, that is so wise, hardwired to keep you safe. Biology just intervenes if you are, overwhelmed with emotion or feeling under attack, right? Your body has been doing so much in your nervous system without your knowledge, really, right? For such a long time. So, part of our healing is to, all right, sweet body, you've been carrying a lot and you've been doing it alone for a long, long time. I'm here now. I'm here now. And part in the beginning when we struggle with connecting with our inner child, and this was true for me because one of the things that I struggled with early on was food. And so when I started feeding myself and really tending to my body, that was my path to my inner child trusting me. Because in the beginning, she's like, I don't want to have anything to do with you. You're just as bad as the other adults. You don't feed me. You don't rest. You don't get enough sleep, right? You push yourself so hard. You are so critical. There's no play. There's just work, right? So self-care is a brilliant path to learning to love ourselves. Right, Rob? That's what you're realizing, yes. And because as kids, right, kids, they don't just listen to our words, they're watching, right? Oh, she says one thing, but is she really doing it? And we've talked a lot about that here. I mean, we remember growing up with that, don't do as I say, do as I do, right? And that's how when we don't, I didn't know what love was, what it felt like to be, nurtured or taken care of. So now as I'm doing it, I'm affirming I am lovable. I am worthy of love. And I am showing you how. And I'm delighting in it. Because that's what I am worthy of, right? It's important to me that I take care of this body, that this body now know, as much as I hated it and was hard on it and beat it up for such a long time. Now I'm trying to work with it, no longer against it. And as you know, right, it's a rocky road sometimes. No, I'm not talking about the ice cream. So, all part of the process. So connecting with our heart is key to our healing, and to do that, begin practicing inner child work. It's time to learn how to love that child inside of you. And the 2 questions today, I would love to, and if you didn't post or are not in our group, I would love to hear from you. Would love to hear your comments so we can support and celebrate you. 2 questions. Excuse me. When was the last time you listened to your inner child? And what did your inner child need from you or tell you at that time? Now my inner child would beg to differ about the Rocky Road ice cream. I knew I shouldn't bring that up. So you are funny, Lori. Hey friends, you are funny. So Lori, you're next up here. Pretty sure you said it's okay if I share. Lori says, I listen quite a bit to my inner child now. She's a cute little kid with pigtails. She is quite tough and resilient. I'm finding out. As long as I nap and some ice cream and cuddles are involved. She is quite lovely with animals too. Aw, that's beautiful, Lori. That's beautiful, my friend. That really, really resonated. I could feel just warmth in my heart just reading that. And I'm sure she's listening. She can hear you. There you go. Uh-oh. Somebody's going up for ice cream after we're done here. So thank you, Lori. Thank you, sweet friend. And I've been loving the pictures that you've been sharing. Love those. I totally understand. I used to love to go for walks at night. When I lived back in Iceland as a little girl, I would go when it was snowy outside, and I lived outside of the city, and I would just go and see and lay in the snow and watch all the stars. So I can relate to the feeling about being out at night when the whole world is sleeping. All part of play. That's beautiful, Lori, right? And that's the thing too. The more we get in touch with our inner child, the more playful we become. I could bring my husband and he could tell you I was not a lot of fun when we first met. And he keeps saying it even till this day. I think just last week he's like, oh gosh, Svava, I just love how silly you are now and how much we laugh, because that was not even safe back then. So Sharon, you had 12 inches of snow. Ooh, I'm jealous. I wanted a little more snow, but here in Portland, we've hardly gotten any snow. I've seen everybody else. Snow angels, there you go. There you go. There we go. We're going to have to do a winter retreat next time. Right, Nora? She may not be here, but she's not a fan of the cold. But I also talked to Wanda, and she's insisting that we go have a retreat in Iceland in a couple years. And I told her what Wanda, there you go, Sue, what Wanda wants, Wanda gets. That's what I told her, and I think we're all on the same page on that. So, better start saving up for our retreat in Iceland. I'm just putting it out there. I have a friend, a childhood friend. She just bought a farm, a deserted farm. They're going to fix it up. So I'm sure I can find us a campsite or something to stay. We'll make it work. Yes, Lori, Northern Lights. That is definitely a magical experience. I'm in on Iceland. Yep, that'd be nice. The shop or the country. Rob's making fun of us. Well, that's up to you, Rob. You do you, boo-boo, right? All right, back to business. Now, Vicky shared with us There you go, Wanda. You won't argue with getting what I want. I'm telling you, friend. Vicky says here, she says, I'm having a hard time connecting with my inner child with her as I've ignored her for so many years. I have very little memories from before the abuse started, but I do remember her kindness and how helpful she was. I remember her silliness and laughter, but I need to learn to really connect with her. I hear you, my friend. And you know, Vicky, we can see and feel your kindness. Don't you agree, guys? On our Zoom calls, that helpfulness and that kindness, that generous heart of yours and hers, it comes through. Yep, see? So she's right there. She's right there. Yep. Ah, I just brought tears to my eyes. She is right there, my friend, and she plays a bigger part in your life than you realize. Aww. Honor those tears. She knows. She knows. She can feel those tears, and she's grateful for those tears. You're showing her how important she is to you, that you are longing to connect with her the same way she is longing to connect with you. Beautiful. I'm excited for you. Exactly. I'm excited for you. And as you can hear, we learn a lot. We learn a lot from our wise inner children. They are very, very wise. They have a lot of wisdom to share with us, just waiting for us to come. Thank you, Vicky. Aw, you're welcome, my friend. You're so very welcome. All right, Wanda. Wanda says, honestly, my inner child is listening and looking at the adult Wanda and how I'm handling my current situations and emotions. I recently told her I was working on some difficult things and that she could relax. So I know she's there. I know she's watching, right? She's keeping an eye on you, and she's a little nervous. I can feel it in the clenching and the grinding of my teeth when I'm in therapy. The feelings of wanting to run away, to isolate the actions that were once a way to stay safe, right? So these days, it's more the adult Wanda's actions that are front and center. I've depended on my inner child too long. I'm giving her permission to be a child, a teenager, now showing her since what the adults in her life actions were never congruent, right? With their actions. Their words were not congruent with their actions. That's beautiful, Wanda. That is huge, my friend. Glad she is receiving permission to be a child. I'm sharing a comment from one of our peers in the group, right? Because most of our inner children, she grew up way too fast, right? Ever since we were children, we were the adults. We were caretaking, perhaps our parents or other siblings. We were given, responsibility without any authority or power to enforce any rules, any say whatsoever. And that alone is abusive to a child. To be giving a child, knowledge and responsibility and information without any emotional, understanding, any emotional awareness to process, to, communicate. I mean, that's also one of the big burdens that most of us carry, that we didn't get to be innocent children. when we should have just been an innocent child, just playing and enjoying life and going through the stages of development in a healthy, organic, natural way, supported by a safe village, right? By a community of adults that recognize and acknowledge the importance of, play in childhood and experimenting, right? All the things that we then, I can say for me, I felt so embarrassed for many, many years because there were things that I didn't know how to do for myself because I didn't really learn how to do it as a child, or was trying to navigate adult things without really any comprehensive knowledge or understanding of it. So just pretending a lot, very scared, a lot of hiding, a lot of pretending. So, hey Donna, glad you're here. Good to see you, friend. So, good work, my friend Wanda. I am so happy for you, and I am happy for your inner child and your inner teenager. Beautiful. And that's it, right? Like loving and firm, loving and firm, loving and firm, navigating as we wake up every day in this grown-up body. Are we gonna just hand it over to a wounded little girl or wounded little boy to figure out this adult world, figuring out what this adult body needs? Or are we gonna slowly recognize, wait a minute, this body has some needs, right? It needs to be fed, it needs to be moved, it needs some sleep, it needs some water. Exactly. Exactly, Lori. And again, my friends, that is part of what we're doing. We are, raising ourselves up again. And I'm so grateful that I did a training how many years ago and went through this book that I've recommended to many, many survivors, Growing Up Again. It's a parenting book, but that helps, us as adults to recognize what are some of the areas in our, what are some of the areas in our adult lives that we are struggling in our relationships or with the outside world. Chances are there was a piece there that we missed out on as children, that we did not get the support that we needed. So we can go back and work with our inner child, the little girl, the toddler, the infant, the teenager, the young adult self, and help them understand. And we become the parent and the protector and the gentle caregiver, the patient, loving parent that we needed. We can do that now. Yep, exactly, Lori. Emotional rearing, yep. So thank you, Wanda. You're doing a beautiful job, my friend. Thank you so much for your sharing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's see here. Sue is sharing with us. Over the past months, I have gradually been getting to know my inner child, but more recently, I've become aware of a sense of rebellion and anger, which seems to be coming from my inner teen. When I first tried to connect with her, she simply did not want to know. Told me to leave her alone. But now I'm aware of her need for me to be willing to listen to her without judgment. Right, guys? We talked a bit about that, right? Listen to her without judgment, to accept her just as she is, and also be patient. She wants to do it on her own time. I think she has a lot to tell me, And I have a feeling that getting to know her may help with my difficulties around expressing anger that I've mentioned here before. That's beautiful, my friend. That's beautiful, Sue. Right? And I recognize in the beginning, and please, guys, if you can relate, that the first time when we connect with our inner child or our inner teenager, and when we feel their anger, right? I was so afraid to connect with my inner child because I could feel her rage in there. I could feel how upset she was. And I didn't know how to handle angry people out here. I shut down for a long time when people got angry because that was, not safe for me growing up. I just checked out. So to recognize that inside of me lived a little girl, right? My little girl and my inner teenager, right? That was very angry, very pissed off, enraged. So yeah, I was like, nope, not talking to her, which didn't make it any better. I was rejecting her. I was, pushing away. I don't want your truth. I don't want to know your feelings. I don't want to. Which fed the hurt and the anger and the disappointment and the distrust in me. And again, not in me as a loving, caring adult today, but my victim self. So the part of me that would continue the treatment of her as, as neglectful and hurtful as I was being treated by others growing up. I hear you, Sue. I hear you. But how beautiful right now that you have recognized, right? As you are working with your body, you're recognizing where that how it feels, where's that tension, and where is she, and what does she need from you, right? And interesting, Sue, how that aligns with, we've talked about this, right? It's like needing to do it right and wanting to do it, get it done and get it done quickly, right? And she is just like, nope, does not work for me. Nope. If you're not going to listen to me and, let me take my time, not interested. Not interested. Right, Sue? Exactly. Yeah. So take your time. It's a blessing to both of you. And if you think about it, friends, that's any healthy relationship, right? We should be taking our times, right? We should, learn how to, okay, I'm going to just be here. I'm going to just sit and listen to you. I'm going to take time to get to know you, ask you what you need. How can I support you? Give you the safety to let me know if I'm not listening or if I'm using words that are hurtful. And yeah, to give her permission to express her anger. Whether it's at what happened growing up or if it's at us, right? That was the thing. My little girl was angry with me because she was disappointed in how long I had taken to get to her. And of course, I've had to forgive myself. I've had to be gentle with myself, okay? All right, baby girl, I'm sorry I let you down. I'm doing this as fast as I can, right? But this is it. This is it. It goes both ways. And the truth, just being honest with them, she knows they will appreciate at least us just being honest, that we're trying. Because they're in there. She knows. And she'll, like any child, will take your best effort over ignoring them, right? Lori says, mine was tick too, but melted in time. She had to realize that I wasn't just messing around, that I was here to stay. Yes, exactly, Lori, right? And the same thing, Sue, right? It's like, yeah, you're not just here to tell me I'm not doing it right, or I'm not good enough, or I have to do it your way, or I have to be a good girl, right? No, I'm genuinely here to stay, and I'm genuinely interested in you and what you have to say. Showing up counts big time. All right, I have a teenager in the house, right? And sometimes when he doesn't want to talk, I'm just gonna sit here. I'm just gonna sit here, right, across the table, or he's on his computer, and I just sit down on his bed and hang out. And after a little bit, right? Oh, she's still here. I guess maybe we should talk, right? That we give them time to come out on their own time. Beautiful. Thank you, Sue. Thank you, my friend. Yeah, right, Rob? You learned that with kids, just being there silently. Yep, I'm just here. And the thing is, kids are like sponges. They read our bodies, right? They read our energy, just like animals. You can't fake it with animals or kids. They know. No, I know you don't really want to play. That you're just putting on a little act here because all the other adults are here. Right? But they'll come to you if they get, oh, here's somebody who likes to play. There you go, Vicky, right? That's right. So that's it. Like, how do we choose our friends? Go hang out with the ones that have the animals. Awesome. So thank you, Sue. Thank you, my friend. You're welcome. You're welcome. And I'm so happy for you and your inner teen. I can't wait to see what comes out of that. What comes out of that connection. Beautiful. Beautiful. Hey, friend. Let's see here. Chris Ann, thank you for sharing with us. No, Sue. Not in a bad way. Not at all. But I'm sure she's a powerhouse. She's a smart young woman in there. I'm sure she has an opinion. Can tell you a thing or two. Chris Ann shares with us today, I just today had to listen to and soothe my inner child. Hey, William. Welcome. She says, I had to soothe my inner child today. I had a horrible nightmare last night about being at my parents' house for some reason, and my mother was continuously beating me, and I could not defend myself. I'm so sorry, Chrisanne. When I woke up this morning, I was completely exhausted, sad, and confused. I had to reassure my inner child that we were safe and that it wasn't real. She needed comfort, love, and promises that it was not reality. I'm so sorry, Chrisanne. That is harsh. That is hard. I am so sorry, my friend. I hope you did get some rest today. And I hope your little one has settled down, that she is feeling your heart. Hey, friend, is it Minnie? So glad that you're here. So I'm so glad that you could comfort her and to remind her that this was just a dream, right? Good, beautiful. And it is a blessing, even though I know it's hard for us, right? When these little ones, they show us right? They show us what they're afraid of. They show us their fears. And I think they're doing it because they're asking for us to intervene. They're asking for us to show up. They're asking us to become the caretaker, you know, to assure them and to remind them, right, as often as it takes. Like, hey, baby girl, I am so sorry. I am so sorry, right? Because in dreams and in some of those memories, when we get triggered, that part of our brain that there's no timestamp, right? So to the child, when it gets activated like that, it feels as if it's today. Good, Donna. I'm so glad you're here. So glad this is helping you. Beautiful, Chrisanne. But I know, my friend, I know it's exhausting sometimes. It is exhausting. I mean, for those of us here who are parents, you know, parenting is exhausting, right? It's like running a marathon and then having to run it again when you just felt like you were gonna take a break. Okay, there the child is up again. She's crying again. She needs assurance again. She needs to be held. She needs to be fed. She needs to be changed, right? And that really is that kind of commitment and attention that, you know, we need it. And these parts that live inside of us, sometimes they can be kind of relentless like that in the beginning. And to do our best. Hey, baby girl, I'm here. Hey, baby girl, I'm here. Hey, baby girl, I'm here. Like it's like that puppy training, right? And that we won't get angry at them for showing their feelings, that we won't get upset or frustrated at them for showing that they're scared. And the more we show up for them, you are also developing your adult self, the parent, right? The part of you that needs to step into this body fully and own it. And to let this little girl, like she's been trying, she's got sticks, trying to fill into this body, to move it, to let her, hey, baby girl, I'm so sorry, right? I'm so sorry you had that dream. I was right there with you. It wasn't real. It didn't happen to you last night. I'm sorry. Yes, it was in the past, but I'm here now, and I promise I am big and strong now. I'm not going to let anybody hurt you. I am here. I am here. I am here. So thank you, Chrisanne, my friend. I know how weary and tiring this can feel. Yeah. So I'm glad you're here. Glad you're here with us. Because it takes a village. Right? We are the village, my friends. We are the village for each other. This is the power of groups. This is the power of multiple adults raising children. Right? Because sometimes those little ones throw tantrums and we need to know that there's somebody going to be the adult in the group and hold the space for us to the village people. Thank you, Lori. YMCA, right? So, we're doing a beautiful job. We're doing a beautiful job. And I think it shows, my friends. It's like we are, each of us, growing, because we are feeling safe. Feeling safe within ourselves, right? Recognizing, okay, I can see how they're doing it over there, how they're supporting that little girl. Okay, maybe we can try this, all right? Because I didn't know how that looked like inside. Lori is gonna be the cop, all right? You guys are funny. So thank you, Chris Ann. Hey, Nora. Nora shared. So glad. I don't know if she's still here. She had a meeting to go to. Nora shared with us. She says, I have never... All right, Rob, you're the cowboy. Nora says, I have never wanted to listen to my inner child due to fear. I have always been frightened to acknowledge her, but I have decided that now is the time to begin this work. My fear in knowing my inner child is that she holds all my tears, my grief, my fears and sorrow from the abuse. Who else? Can we validate Nora? She's not alone. Can we just acknowledge? Me too, my friend. Me too. That was my greatest fear. She goes on to share with us, I gave that to her for her to hold so that I would never have to feel them ever again. Yes. Thank you, Lori. Thank you, Sue. Thank you, Rob. Well, now it's time for me to take that from her so that she doesn't have to carry that burden any longer. Beautiful. Beautiful, Nora. Beautiful. And the comments here in the group, yes, a little bit at a time, right? Finding a safe way to work with that hurt little girl, right? And that's how we recognize, okay, so that's what loving and comforting feels like, sounds like, right? Looks like. What does it look like, right? To have someone look you in the eye and delight in you, right? It's like, hey, baby girl, right? I'm here. I see you. I hear you. I'm sorry. I feel your hurt. I'm so sorry that happened to you. Right? That's how we learn what that looks like and feels like and sounds like. And it helps to have something out here in the beginning, right? So if you are new to inner child work, find a picture of yourself during an age that you can relate to. And if it feels a little scary in the beginning, right? You just put that picture out somewhere where you can see it. I bring this picture here to show you, but she's on my nightstand because I want her to, she's my priority. She's my top priority. I know, Chris-Ann. I know it was hard in the beginning. It was hard in the beginning. But now, I see you, sweetie pie. I see you. I can feel your spirit, right? And I can feel her pop up. She's happy, right, Sue? Why is delight so hard, right? Because again, I can't speak for you, but for me, oh, yes, I just missed that little girl. Exactly. I hear you, Sharon. I hear you, my friend. You're absolutely right. That's a possibility. Possibility. All we see is sadness. Exactly. I saw a lot of sadness and shame in the beginning. Like, you know, nobody loves me. Nobody wants me. But now that I know, right? Like, that wasn't your shame. That wasn't your secret. And I can look her in the eye and I can tell her that now, right? It's like the picture to me has changed over the years. She used to look really sad to me. But now I can see her spirit through her eyes. And to the thought of someone delighting in you, like for me is delight. I don't know what that is for you, but for me it was the until I could imagine that happen. I resisted that for a long time, Sue. It's like, no, I'm not worthy of that kind of love. I'm not worthy of that kind of, devotion or affection. But once I was able to, because I wanted her to see that I was interested, like delighting. Someone meets your smile and what you're saying, or what you bring. They match you, and they go one more, like +1. They match you and +1, right? And this was not comfortable and did not come easy to me. I've forced myself to practice, and I do this with my kids now. Every time they walk into a room, I make sure I smile and I look at them, not because I'm faking it, because I really want them to feel that. I'm happy to see you. There's something in our biology that responds to that. And in training myself, Sue, right? Exactly. Hard to comprehend someone is glad to see me even now, right? I hear you, Sue. And we've talked about the mirror work, right? I didn't even see myself in the mirrors, but now I can look myself in the mirror and say, hey, beautiful, we're going to rock it out today, right? And I can laugh about it, and I can see my own spark. But for a long time, it's like, nope. But that's the inner work. That's the inner work that we are doing. I hear you, Sharon. I hear you, my friend. I think there are a lot of us were, big kids. Like we were our inner child had taken over this adult body because we were stunted, right? We were frozen in time from our trauma and our abuse. So part of doing the inner child work is that you are also learning to develop this parenting, right? This loving but firm, right? Because those little kids are sometimes, like we've talked about here, they want to eat the whole pint of ice cream, and they want to watch the whole series on Netflix instead of, just one episode and then we have to go to bed. You can have a quarter of a pint of ice cream, and then that's enough for tonight, right? Because there is safety in structure, right? I hear you, Sue. See, but you're getting there, my friend. You can look yourself in the eye, right? And for me, it started with, I'm not half bad. You build a relationship, that's right. In time, you love and trust, and relationship you have never had. We live hand in hand, a forever friend inside. Exactly. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Thank you, Nora, for sharing with us. Really appreciate it. I'm so grateful for your courage and your beautiful share. I'm so excited for you, and I'm excited for your inner child. The two of you get to know each other. What a delight that will be. My head is down in a lot of pictures. Yes, right? I hear you, Chrisanne, right? For a long time, I looked in the mirror to fix something, but I didn't see anything. Did not see anything. Did not want to see this. Did not want to look at myself. I hated myself. I hated this body. Rejected everything about it. But of course, who was I hating? Right? So my wounded self kept rejecting her. So, but now as a mom, and I think all of us, it's each and everyone's job to learn to love our inner child and all our parts, and work with our victim self, our hurt, wounded self, to help her, help him. Thank you for being here. Thank you for keeping me safe. I know you worked hard. This was your best strategy. This was your coping strategy when we were young. This is what was approved around us in the family. Maybe some dysfunction. It does not work right now. This is not helpful. And I'm sorry that I haven't showed up until now, but here I am. I am ready. Rob shares with us, he says, my inner child is trying to hide from all the pain and mixed emotions, like humming to distract from a tornado, full in avoidant. He likes to get off his nut to numb the pain and to do repetitive things, and he has often been in total control. But by putting the brakes on and acknowledging his feelings, I've gained some control, which has meant no drugs this year, better diet, better sleep, and virtually no alcohol, and clear understanding. Beautiful, my friend. We are proud of you. We are so proud of you. That is huge. That is huge, right? You are starting to treat yourself better, right? All the ways that we use to numb, distract, avoid, it's like it was okay. That was our best effort. That was what we had. But let's consider there is possibly a better, healthier, safer way for us to get in touch with our feelings, learn to safely express our feelings, take care of these bodies. This is it, right? These bodies is what we have for this ride. Start taking care of it one day, one walk at a time. And I'm loving all the pictures that you guys are sharing as you're going on your walks and your rides. It's inspiring. And as you probably see, it inspires others in the group. I need to sip here, my tea. So, thank you, beautiful friends, for amazing share. I love talking about the inner child. As you guys know, I could go deeper into that conversation, but we're out of time today. Maybe we can do some more of that in one of our Zoom calls. But I drew a card for us today. It's always perfect. Always perfect. This is for all of your inner children, your little girls and your little boys. One day she woke up, right? One day she understood that she had been perfect all along. Aw, thank you, Lori. Thank you, Lori. I love you guys too. I'm just gonna say it. I'm not one to hold back, as you know. I love you, each and every one of you, so much. I am so proud of you guys. It takes guts to do this work. And like I've said, I don't judge anybody who says, nope, that's it, not doing it, I'm out of here. I understand. I understand. And I will love and support you wherever you're at. But for us to keep showing up, doing this work, we're healing our hearts, and that's how we're healing the world, my friends. Thank you, sweet Vicky. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Couldn't do it without you guys either. So remember, you have been perfect all along. All along, you were perfect. So thank you, friends. Thank you for our beautiful shares tonight. I'm going to hold up the book again for anybody that's watching our replay or is curious about what we're doing here. And of course, if you're watching on YouTube, please give me a thumbs up. Remember to subscribe and share. And if this inspired you and moved your heart or helped you in any way, please share with anybody else that might benefit, or share some comments with us. Let us know what you learned today. But I'll see you guys. We'll be back here live on Tuesday, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And if anybody is around tomorrow morning in the Journey to the Heart group, I'm doing an interview with a lady from Ireland. We're going to be talking about essential oils and how essential oils can help us on our healing, right? Because here I got my favorite, Joy. Our sense of smell is hardwired into our brain. So if you're around for that, be doing that tomorrow morning. All right, it's LD's birthday weekend. Woohoo! 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, Rob. 8 a.m. I'm just about to post a reminder in the group. So, all right, my friends. Thank you so much. Appreciate you guys.